going on, boys? Special welcome back to the corner. The only corner where we're selling statistics and knowledge and not dope and pussy. It's here, boys. It is here. Conference championship is over with. We've got playoffs set. We've got first two out. We've got teams pissed and we got teams happy. We're going to do a deep dive into conference championship week and just what all went down. On top of just what conference championship week kind of meant for everyone. So first of all, we're going to start with the two group of five conference champions. We had number 24 North Texas take on number 20 Tulane. Now Tulane's coach is on the way out and on the way to Florida. I believe his name is Trammell. Had a very weird interview, in my opinion. One day he was doing his introductory interview at Florida, and the next day he was doing his playoff press conference for Tulane before the conference championship, pretty much saying he has no idea why they as in Tulane, are being considered to be in the playoff. Obviously, he's going to a new team, so it doesn't exactly matter, but if I was a Florida Gator, I would not like that. I mean, he's still the coach. You know, it's shiesty. I don't love it. But Tulane gets the win, 34-21 on 200 rushing yards, a sack, and 3 picks. They will be the 11 seed. Number 25, James Madison, played Troy in their conference championship. Get the win, 31-14, had 300 rushing yards, 8 sacks. They had a fumble. Only lost 2 games in 2 years, boys. I mean, this JMU team, James Madison University, has absolutely been on fire. They made it last year, got thumped, but had the wherewithal to absolutely figure it out and get back in it. So they will be the 12 seed. Wainwright, 21 rushes for 212 yards and a touchdown. Now, they are not going to be rushing for 300 yards on any team that is in the playoffs. They won't rush for 300 yards on Tulane if they end up playing Tulane, which they won't. I mean, I think both these teams will get stomped in the first round, but we'll get there. Honorable mention, though, Duke, the first 5+ loss team to make it into the playoffs, or to make it to the ACC Conference Championship and win it. Take Virginia out of the playoffs. I mean, all Virginia had to do was win, and they were in. Terrible for some of the seniors and some of the kids that won't be coming back, but it is what it is. I mean, it's a heartbreak season right now. Cutthroat, there weren't a lot of places anyways, and they went with a different ACC team at the end of it anyways. So next, which we all knew this was going to happen. It happened earlier in the season. Bear Bachmeyer went down in this game. Number 11 BYU plays Texas Tech in Dallas' stadium in the Star. Tech defense on fucking 11 the entire game. Ben Roberts, Jacob Rodriguez, John Curry. This all over the field. They've had some of the transfers. Romello, I don't know. It's Romello something, but Georgia Tech transfer. Balled out. Had a fumble recovery. Just absolutely getting it fucking done, on top of having one of the top 4 most efficient offenses in the nation. I mean, this team is just complete. After getting $20 million dumped in for NIL, I mean, they have absolutely figured it out. Texas Tech, number 4 seed. BYU, second team out. And honestly, if we're really sitting here talking about it, now, speaking of the Tech defense, they had 2 picks, 2 fumbles, so 4 turnovers forced in the game. They held BYU to 200 total yards, held them to 63 rushing yards on 30 attempts. I mean, boys, That's terrible. That's 2 yards. It's damn near 2 yards a carry. For a team that depends on their running game with L.J. Martin and Bear Bachmeier for them to have any type of passing game. I mean, Texas Tech shut them the fuck down for the second time this season. Texas Tech, surprising the nation, seeing how Texas was the preseason #1. Texas Tech coming out of the state of Texas as the best team, with Texas A&M and Texas both being ranked in the top 25. I mean, boys, Texas Tech has absolutely stunned, and I've talked about them. I think Bear Morton is a phenomenal player, and for a majority of the year, this team has been playing hurt. I mean, their quarterback has been playing hurt or out. Just this, I think they're going to shock a lot of people in the playoffs. I think they'll get one win, but we will get there. #2, Indiana, playing Ohio State in the Big Ten Championship. Now, Kurt Cignetti is quickly putting himself on the map as one of the greatest college football coaches of all time, one of the greatest university and program turnarounds in the history of college football right now. Julian Saying, I will say, did have a decent game, but without Jeremiah Smith, I'm just not convinced that this team can do anything against anybody if their defense is not absolutely perfect. I mean, so Saying 21 for 29, 258 with a touchdown and a pick. That's a great quarterback day as for a conference championship game. Absolutely, #1 versus #2. That is what you want at a quarterback. But 8 of those receptions and 144 of those yards were to Jeremiah Smith, who has been hurt, has not been. This is, come on, boys. It's not playoff football. Obviously, Indiana is very, very good, but I just don't believe that Ohio State's going to go back-to-back this year. I really don't. With that being said, Fernando Mendoza goes down on the first play after a big hit. Mendoza's interview after the game is an all-timer just in terms of ridiculous. Just one of the most dramatic. I mean, the boy was crying with no tears. I just don't if he ever wins a Super Bowl, when he's saying he's going to Disney World, it is the perfect. I mean, those clips will give me the same vibe. They will feel the exact same. I really hope that he wins a Super Bowl so we can come back and compare those. Honorable mention, Charlie Becker, not Eli Surratt III. Charlie Becker, 6 receptions, 126 yards. And Ohio State's kicker misses a game-winning field goal in the last minutes of a game again. They lose 13-10. I mean, it was a tie with it was 2-tie with maybe a minute and a half to go. So just an absolute heartbreaker for the University of Ohio State. Honestly, you cannot. At this point, you just have to feel bad for them. Still don't like them, but I feel bad for them. IU gets the #1 seed. Ohio State gets the #2 seed. Really shocked me there, boys. I thought that maybe if Ohio State lost, they would move them down below at least the Dogs because of the conference championship part. But seems like it pretty much worked out for the Dogs in the end. Speaking of the Georgia Bulldogs, #3 Georgia played Alabama in the Mercedes Superdome. Get the win 28-7. Put their foot on Alabama's throat and bleep, bleep, bleep. I mean, it was an absolute slaughter here, boys. Bama finished with -3 rushing yards. Gunner was 20 for 26, 156 yards, 3 touchdowns. Nate Frazier was 13 for 52 and a touchdown. Now, I will say this I think they definitely took some of his carries away because I believe it was the first drive. He took a shot and was slow to get up. Trainers came out, had to come get him, but he was quickly back in the game. But it's shit like that is why I didn't really want to be playing in the fucking game to start with, for the sole purpose of, if we lose, it looks bad. If we win, whoop-de-fucking-do. We stay in the same fucking place. And 3, like, guys get hurt, what are we gonna do? It's a game that doesn't matter. It has no value. No value. This game, purely, this Georgia-Alabama game shows you that there was absolutely no value to the SEC Conference Championship other than a fucking trophy. Because Georgia is still the number 3 seed and Alabama is still the number 9 seed. Finishing with -2, 3 rushing yards. Come on, man. And they're matched up. We'll get there. We're gonna get there right now, as a matter of fact. Playoff. This is what it's looking like. We've got number 12, James Madison. All right, first 4. We'll go first 4, and then we'll go matchup by matchup. Number 1, Indiana. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 3, Georgia. And number 4, Texas Tech. In order, just from top to bottom of the first round matchups, I've got James Madison University facing off, going to Eugene, Oregon, and playing a road playoff game. All day, boys, I've got Oregon. And Oregon going on to play number 4, Texas Tech. Next, we've got number 9, Alabama, going to Oklahoma, number 8. Boys, Oklahoma beat them in Tuscaloosa. If that defense stands on business the way that they did in that other game, Ty Simpson just got his ass walloped in the SEC championship. I think Oklahoma gets it done. I think they knock Alabama out in the first round, get a home playoff win, and I think they're going on to play number 1, Indiana. Number 11, Tulane, boys, is going to Oxford, Mississippi to play number 6, Ole Miss, who gets I believe, tight end, wide receiver, defensive coordinator, and assistant something. I know it's 4 coaches from Lane Kiffin's staff that left to go to LSU are allowed to come back into coach Ole Miss for the playoffs. Now, boys, if Lane Kiffin's not allowed to go coach them for recruiting problems and fear that he's going to flip some players to go into the transfer portal, why let Lane's staff come on to the coach the playoffs, man? I mean, it's the same thing. I think this is going to bite Ole Miss right in the ass, honestly. I really do. With that being said, I think Ole Miss does get the win, and we'll go on to play number 3, Georgia, again. Number 10, Miami, boys. They left Notre Dame and BYU out, I believe. I'm cool with the BYU. I got Miami playing number 7, Texas A&M. I got Miami going to College Station to play Texas A&M, and I got A&M getting the win and going on to play number 2, Ohio State. Now, BYU and Notre Dame getting left out, I genuinely just think it is so... BYU I can understand because they got beat by the number 4 team badly twice. Quarterback hurt. I just don't. Now, Notre Dame. I 100% see why they would put Miami and over Notre Dame. I really do. Because they beat Notre Dame to start the season. Their 2 losses are pretty bad to Louisville and Virginia. I don't see Tulane or James Madison doing any better in the playoffs than Notre Dame would. You know, you think about the fact, yeah, Notre Dame they started off 0-2. They finished the year on a 10-game win streak. They didn't play anybody ranked though, at all. But the teams that they should have handled easily, they handled easily. But you don't play a conference championship. You play in the ACC, who didn't have a conference champion in the playoff. You started off 0-2. You know, what do you... I think I 100% see why Miami's in there, but I don't see why they would have Notre Dame at 9 or at 8 all year long, boys. I mean, legit, it's been like 4 weeks that they've had Notre Dame sitting at 8 for a home playoff game. And then all of a sudden they jump 5 spots down, not playing. And I know last year if any idle teams couldn't move, but this year they can. Yeah, boys, I think there was an argument for Vanderbilt, but the 2 games that they needed to get done, they didn't get done, i.e. the Texas game. So if you're going to put Vanderbilt in, you should put Texas in. We're going to 16 teams. We already know we are. But playoffs are set. We'll go to second round here. I've got, in my eyes, I think it will be number 5 Oregon playing number 4 Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech gets it done, boys. I think they get it done. I think if that defense is playing the way they do, they 100% can play with Oregon. So I got Texas Tech moving on. I got Oklahoma having absolutely nothing to do with Indiana. I think Indiana thraxes them. Oklahoma's offense is just not there. Since Mateer got his hand surgery, I don't I don't think that they will do anything other than beat the University of Alabama again. And Indiana's offense and defense are so proficient. I think it'll be a slaughter. I think Georgia will beat Ole Miss for sure. Again, especially with them not having Lane. Which is just sad, man. Ole Miss was one of the most fun teams to watch this year. I mean, good stories. Keywan Lacey balling out, who's only a sophomore. Boys, he will be back. Might transfer, but with everything that's happened, if he transfers anywhere, it'll be LSU. But I think he'll be right here in Oxford for at least another year. Trinidad Chambliss is a senior. I think he might petition to maybe have another year, maybe go into the draft. But I think if he goes into the draft, any team that gets him will be great. I think it's been phenomenal to watch. But I think Georgia, with the way that the Dogs are playing right now, absolutely get it fucking done. They needed, like my dad said it, the absolute best Sunday morning. Georgia's football program needed this win against Alabama. They needed it to be like that. I mean, they have, as a fan, Kirby said it in his post-game presser, there has been a couple of games defensively that have been absolute garbage. They've just been, boys, the first 6 games of the season, it felt like we were coming back from behind in the second half, and a majority of those we actually were. I think that they figured something out, and the fact that they get a win against Alabama like that is a very good thing for just morale, for the fans. I mean, I know I was shitting bricks just because no matter how good we've been, if it wasn't the national championship game, we just cannot get it done. And we did have a phenomenal second half in the first Alabama game at home. Almost came back, but the team's just playing rolling right now, clicking on all cylinders. I mean, they look very good. I've got Ohio State getting a win against Texas A&M, though, in the last second round game. And then I've got number 4 Texas A&M, or Texas Tech, playing number 1 Indiana and getting a win and beating Indiana. I do not think Indiana will get it done. I think that that offense will be the best offense that Indiana will face all year long. I think Georgia plays Ohio State and beats them again in a semifinal game, which will be super fun to watch. So I think it'll be number 4 Texas Tech versus number 3 Georgia. And boys, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I have been super stoked on the Texas Tech Red Raiders this year. I think their offense, like I said, has been phenomenal. Douglas, Baron Morton, Dickey, all of them, the whole offense, defense, Roberts, Rodriguez. But boys, I think it's going to be another TCU situation with the Dogs and Texas Tech. I think the Dogs will steamroll them for a national championship. But I mean, if Indiana doesn't get the win, I think Indiana will match up against the Dogs a little bit better than Texas Tech. It's just a matter of, can they handle that offense? Can they shut them down in the slightest? But with that being said, boys, it's that time. We'll probably take this week off. I'm going to do a little deep dive into basketball. I might take a week off after the season, but as of playoffs, we're going to do deep dives into playoff games here. I am working on getting the subscriber count up so that we can do live streams, and maybe it'll be a little bit easier to just kind of put my face out there a little bit. I'm super excited about getting this first year over with because it was super overwhelming just trying to get it done. But I think once we got a little bit of a groove and figured out a routine, I've had a lot of fun, boys. We're going, for sure we'll be doing a top 25 players in the nation, offensive players. I'm not too keen on defense in college, but offensively, I think we're going to do maybe even top 50. I think I could do 50 solid, you know. I mean, there are some phenomenal receivers out there this year. There's been some great running backs on some teams that probably wouldn't have had as many wins as they did if they didn't have some of these backs. And then just some freak athletes out here, man. Kenyon Sadiq. If y'all have not checked out Kenyon Sadiq out at Oregon, the boy is just built like a shit house. Tight end out here. He's fast as shit, big, ripped. I mean, hasn't had a phenomenal year, but the boy's getting it done. He's getting it done. I love watching him. I think there's a couple of people on Oregon's offense, but with that being said, boys, peace.